So right, UFC Fight Night, St. Louis. Louis versus Nascimento takes place in the main event this weekend, and I'm going to be going through the entire main card, starting with the opener, ending with the main event, giving you guys my full breakdown and predictions. If you guys are wondering who I got for the prelims, boom, this is who I got. And let's waste no further time and break down this Fight Night card. Starting off with the opener of the main card, Waldo Cortes-Acosta versus Robelis Despaigne. Yeah, no brainer here. High confidence pick. One of my locks in the card. I am going to be going with Robelis Despaigne to absolutely dust up Cortes-Acosta in the first round. Now, personally, I don't really rate Cortes-Acosta as a contender in the heavyweight division. Despite being 4-1 since his UFC debut, he hasn't been the best of competition. He didn't look good in his last fight out against Andrei Arlovski. He arguably lost that fight, and Robelis Despaigne is an absolute lab experiment. I mean, dude's basically Cuban Francis Ngannou. I'd be an absolute fool not to pick him. So, all that being said, I am going to be going with Robelis Despaigne to get the win via first round TKO. We move on to the next fight on the main card. Alex Caceres versus Sean Woodson. I mean, what a fun and entertaining scrap taking place in the featherweight division. Both guys are very high technical strikers, so this should honestly be a fun treat for a striking fan, and I'd be very surprised if this fight hits the mat whatsoever. I say all this, but I am going to be going with Sean Woodson to get the win, solely based on the fact that in a technical kickboxing match, I honestly believe and trust Woodson's chances of getting the W than I do Alex Caceres. Now, Woodson has the wider advantages in this fight, riding a big momentum, currently 4-0-1 his last 5, and I honestly do believe he has the skill set, tools, and baggage to beat an aging Bruce Leroy. All that being said, I am going to be going with Sean Woodson to get the win via dominant decision, 29-28. Moving on to the next fight on the main card, Diego Ferreira versus Mateusz Rębecki. Another high confidence pick, another lock on the card. I am going to be going with Mateusz Rębecki to get a dominant victory over Diego Ferreira. I mean, ever since his UFC debut, Rębecki has been nothing more than impressive. Not to sound like a broken record, but has an impressive record of 19-1. Hasn't lost since 2014 and is currently riding a 16-fight win streak. Undefeated in the UFC and could honestly beat Diego Ferreira wherever this fight goes. I mean, not much to say here. Mateusz Rębecki is a confident pick and gets it done via dominant decision, 30-27. We move on to the feature fight of the main card, Alonzo Menifield versus Carlos Ulberg. Pretty much a risky pick for me. I know the majority are picking Carlos Ulberg in this fight, but you know what? After giving it some thought, after doing a bit of research, call me crazy, but I'm going to go against the grain here. I am going to be going with the slight underdog value of Alonzo Menifield to get the win as an upset. Now, to be personally honest, I haven't been all too impressed with Carlos Ulberg as a top contender in the light heavyweight division. He didn't look good in his last performance, and Alonzo Menifield has undoubtedly fought the better competition, coming off a big win over Dustin Jacoby, and I honestly believe he has the skill set and tools to beat someone like Carlos Ulberg. So, I am going to be going with the underdog of Alonzo Menifield to get the win via close decision, 29-28. Moving on to the co-main event. Joaquin Buckley versus Nursulton Ruziboev. Guys, I am absolutely excited and intrigued on how this fight will play out. But before I tell you who I think is going to win, one interesting stat. Last fight out, both guys have fought on the same card. Both guys won via finish and are now taking a quick turnaround to face off against each other to honestly save this card. So quick shout out to Joaquin Buckley for getting this opportunity because in my opinion, this is the real main event. As I say all this, I am going to be going with the surprising underdog value of Nursulton Ruziboev to get the win via finish. Now, personally, I think this is a very tricky fight for Joaquin Buckley, especially taking it on 1 month short notice. Ruziboev is on an absolute tear right now, riding a 10-fight win streak, undefeated in the UFC, has a lot of experience, and has the wider advantages. I mean, look at the height advantage. All that being said, I am going to be going with Nursulton Ruziboev to get the win via second round TKO. We move on to the main event. Derrick Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. Pretty much a no-brainer pick here, so I'll make it pretty quick. Despite Derrick Lewis being 1-4 his last 5, he has undeniably fought the better competition out of the two. I mean, good God, look at his recent resume. Yes, Nascimento is currently riding a 3-fight win streak, but if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't really rate those 3 wins at all. 2 out of the 3 guys he beat are no longer in the UFC, and he got brutally KO'd by Cortes-Acosta. So I am going to be going with Derrick Lewis to deliver a vintage performance and get the win via first or second round brutal KO. All in all, absolutely smashed it on UFC 301. There were 15 fights on the card. Unfortunately, 1 did get canceled. Went 2 for 2 on my locks, and most importantly, I got the main event right. Overall, I went a total record of 11-2. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my socials, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!